Hello. Yes, both the casters are in the lobby.
No, just give me 1 sec.
Okay.
There's some
Let's
login
start.
issues.
Once you join, you can say.
I think Chief was facing with some login issues.
My
Okay,
God, it's
start.
not working. I'm not able to log in for some reason.
Did you try using a different VPN?
I am using a different one. I just installed them.
Alright.
Just be done with the bands.
Okay, the bans are done.
Okay.
It
Um.
says
Then for this match, Kyoto, you just start. Chief can join in from the next match.
alright, sure, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Just.
Chief, are
Yeah.
you done
That's
or can we just start?
yeah. Kyoto, just read the costume thing I sent you.
I guess you'll have to start. Really sorry.
Okay, hold on, let me just open that thing.
Parker, now turn on the listening audio. You have turned it off, right? Now turn it on.
Okay, so like, are we streaming right now? Okay, well, hey guys, so I'm your caster. I'm Kiyoto, and it's a pleasure to present the Aphelion Rifters Cup organized by Aphelion eSports and powered by Shotcall. This is an invitational tournament where the top 8 teams from India compete with each other to prove who's the champion. Along with this, we have an open tournament for C where 64 teams from C region will battle out to prove who's the best. So, without further ado, let's get this tournament started, shall we? And joined by me is Chief, who was going through with a bit of an error. I'm pretty sure he's going to join the stream halfway in between. So we have a first match, which is DR Arkana versus Meruem and his team. So both of these guys have actually been playing AoV, so I can know them from before. So I'm pretty sure we'll have some interesting action. We see a Camille pick on a Camille prior pick, which is followed by Fox's Kaisa and Jana. So if I were the blue team, now I've already secured a front liner. I want to see how this draft turns out. Okay, they go for an Oriana pick. Okay, so the blue team here goes for a Rakan and Oriana along with the Camille pick. So they might be looking to pick off the targets one by one. Whereas the red team has drafted more of an early pick off kind of draft. Uh, Okay, we see Wukong, Tristana, Rakan, Oriana, and Camille. This kind of gives them a good team fight, but the damage in the early game is probably going to depend on Oriana because Camille scales better late game. Meanwhile, the red team has a Lee Sin who we can keep a lookout for early game. Diana, maybe her also gonna affect the team fight. Okay, yeah, these guys have drafted up the major team fight comp, whereas the blue team has just went off for a pick off comp at this point. Okay, so here we go. The game's gonna start in a bit. Alright, so we see Kamil walking towards the bottom side of the map. Okay, and probably on a swipe towards the mid lane. Okay, we see something weird here. The blue team has went for Tristana mid for the first wave, and pretty much the rest of them just follow the leads, but it's just one weird thing in mid lane. But Tristana apparently did pretty well. Okay. Okay, this is something new. I did not think that Tristana would win a 1v1 against Diana this early, but yeah, they seem to have the lane prio at mid. Meanwhile, Merum and Monkey, the lane is kind of at the start point. Both of them are just playing passive, they're clearing the waves. And okay, there's some action going down at your lane. The support seems to have poked out. The red team have shoved in a wave, so which is actually good. They might get some minion denies on this. Okay, we see an aggressive invade coming in from Lee Sin to at the top side of the map. He jumps in at the blue buff. Okay, now there's a duel. There's a duel going out. Tristana jumps in. Will this be okay? Lee Sin is forced to flash out, but I think it's not worth the trade. He doesn't get the blue buff, and that was pretty much useless. Now, blue team just seems to be disengaging, but the Diana gets caught out. Diana might just find catch on Kong, which is actually pretty good. Now they get a free scuttle up top. The bottom scuttle is uncontested. I can see Camille heading bot, which is actually good that she has decided to ditch the top scuttle because there's no way she's getting that. The red team did a pretty good job. They walk out with one kill and they also get vision towards the Baron lane. Okay, will they go for an aggressive dive? Okay, Camille just pushing Lee Sin away from their side of the jungle. But this is how Lee Sin players are supposed to play, guys. So like they're supposed to be pretty aggressive in lane. They're supposed to look for more invades, and they are supposed to make plays around map because they pretty much follow at late game. Okay, Camille jumps down at bot. She's heading towards the ADC. Okay, that's a knock by Lakan, and he flashes out, but Jana gets a kill. Now red team look they can get a better trade out of this. Jana goes and cancel the recall. Okay, now Camille just managed to walk out. She's full HP. There's not much to lose over there. Okay, we see red team. His team is probably going to shove this wave in that bot and recall. Okay. Okay, there's something just happened. The mid lane is probably did a suicide trade where both of them just died. And we have another minute until the dragon spawns. Right now, all the teams are just shoving the waves in. They're getting in enough gold. They're recalling, buying items. They're resetting towards the map. And we have Tristana and Diana duking it out over a huge wave at top. The person who clears his wave first is probably going to have an advantage over the other person. And Tristana just bullies Diana out of the lane with a 3. Okay. I see Jana warding it around the dragon. They're probably trying to get priority over the team fight right now. So both the teams are just fighting over vision. Okay, this doesn't look good for Tristana. She's going in aggressive right 15 seconds before the dragon spawn. Now this is gonna force her to recall, which is not a good thing for the blue team, unless or until they manage to delay it. So the red team actually has an advantage in numbers over the river. And meanwhile, Diana just takes out the orbs away. Okay, all players seems to be resetting, so there might not be much of a delay because there's no immediate start. But the team has wards right at the river. They have nothing in deep. They're pretty much blind when it comes to where the blue team is right now. Blue team apparently have just warded the dragon pit, and they're probably gonna try delaying this fight out because they can't fight them. The red team has a better team fight comp than the blue team. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to look for a catch out, or they're supposed to trade for better. This way pushed in at mid. Okay, they go for an engage behind the dragon pit. Okay, the red team still gets a kill. Okay, the monkey just jumps inside the pit on a two-man ult. Rakan jumps in, but this is pretty much pointless. Red team is just wiping everyone out. Okay, they're probably gonna just get the cleanup over here. The blue team was not manageable, was not able to get a pick off, but they seem to lose all five of the members. There's no wave at bot, so okay, they can try pushing it in, but I think that's too risky because both of them are 1 HP. And yeah, Merwin and Fox are trying to see if they're gonna get a rotation over here, but since they no blue teams coming, they're gonna back off. They're not gonna try pushing this tower, but they already get a dragon and 5 kills from the team fight, which is pretty much huge. Now, if you look at the goal chart, that's already a 5K difference between the teams. Now, if the blue team doesn't trade better from this point on, it's pretty much gonna be a snowball at this point. Okay, I see Diana going in aggressive again. Okay, they managed to poke out. This Tristana pick against Diana is not doing that great, guys. She is literally being poked away to half HP or a quarter HP every time it's tied fast. Okay, there's fight going on at top. Red team is diving the turret and they get a kill on Wukong. Okay, now they get a free turret. And this is gonna be the first turret of the game. This additional gold is not looking good for the blue team. They're already behind 6A gold, but okay, Starboy is doing good thing. He has forgotten the rift and he's trading it for the mid turret. Meanwhile, blue team is diving bot. They just jump on Meruem. They get Camille's ult in. Rakan's going in, but will they get the skill? And they can get it. That dive was successful. Now they get two turrets. Okay, mid turret might have survived with a bit of HP, and I don't think these guys can do anything to stop the bot turret from falling because there's no one around and the minion wave's already here. Meanwhile, the red team has traded from the blue team's mid turret. Okay, they have the rift here, but I don't think they can afford to dive this turret yet because it's still too early. Wukong has his ult. Okay, he uses his ult. The ult's forced out, but Jana just saves her team with her ult. That was actually a pretty good heal. Now, since red team already has control over half of the map, they can pretty much invade blue team's jungle. They can bully them outside their own jungle. Blue team's gonna have a really hard time farming. Maybe they'd have a better shot at funneling all that gold into that Tristana, who scales really good late game. But at this point, it's pretty much hopeless for the blue team. The red team has control throughout the map. Now they've just reset, they're farming their own jungle, they're looking at the next play. Meanwhile, we see the duo lane heading back to the lane. Okay, they're trying to force bottom turret out. They have a huge wave coming in. Okay, their ADC is already poked out. At this, okay, Rakan's going in for the jump. He gets a two man engage, but he has to back out since there's no follow up from his ADC. His team may be a bit late, but we see all of them rotating towards bot lane. Okay, Diana looks in for an engage, but she misses her Q. Diana can't do much if she misses a Q, but okay. The red team has vision of blue team. They know Camille's over here. They've watered the tribush. There are no D-wards right now, so maybe they're just gonna force a fight out before the dragon even spawns. Okay, they're walking it. Okay, they've taken the ward out. They're surrounding Camille. They're surrounding Camille. Lee Sin goes in. He tries to look for a catch. Okay, he aims at Tristana, but he misses. Rakan, he goes in. He has no ult. Okay, he did have ult, but he didn't get a lot of catches over there. But he had to back out because he was already low on HP. Now, since blue team has no ultimates and they are pretty much low, red team gets a free dragon. Camille might try coming and stealing this, but I don't think there's a point because she's gonna die for it and it's not worth it at this point. Meanwhile, Oriana did a foolish thing by calling right under the turret and gets killed. Okay, now we might see red team trying to force the bottom turret because they have a huge minion wave in, and this is pretty much a free turret. If the blue team doesn't back out right now, it's gonna be pretty dangerous for them. Okay, they get surrounded. Zana's ult being cancelled before it starts. Camille with 1 HP and okay, a flash away. Red team, they get both the kills and they don't have to give out even a single kill out. Okay, I think the red team should back out now because they're all pretty low and there isn't much to be done on the map. Meanwhile, there's Baron Nashor spawning in 20 seconds. So it's a better idea if the team just resets at this point and go gets the vision priority at the Baron. They might have to one play around that at this point. And maybe they could even force out the tier 2 tower at top since that would make it easier for them to take the Baron out. Okay, we see a bit fight over the waves at mid lane, but since Diana has backed out and Camille, who's heading towards the bottom side of the jungle at this point, which doesn't seem like a great idea. Okay, there's Lee Sin at bot, so maybe if they try getting a catch out at bot because he's solo at this point. Okay, they're spreading out. They're heading back towards Baron. I mean, at this point, the Lee Sin is not with the team. The blue team should either force a fight out without Lee Sin or maybe flank Lee Sin instead. Because Lee Sin at this point has 8k gold. He's 208. He already has one item complete, and he's doing a lot in team fights. So if you could get a shutdown on him, you could even get your priority on Baron. But the scoreboard right now says 317 with two dragons with the red team, and the blue team are pretty much not doing a great job at trading. They've just taken one tower so far, and they're trying to actually gain vision over this Baron. They don't want to give a free Baron away at this point because that would actually result in a pretty early end. Okay, the red team is going for an invade. They've spotted the entrance towards the blue team's jungle, so they might be looking to bait them towards the Baron because they've watered both the entrances. Now, Lee Sin is clearing the wards at top. So these guys are baiting them inside the pit. The blue team comes in deep for a check. They might get pounced on at any moment. They have to watch out for the Gragas ult and the Diana ult before fight starts. Okay, and the wave is pushed in at mid lane. This is gonna force the blue team to rotate out. The red team is using this chance to go for the Drake. The Lee Sin is taking Scuttle Prior right now, and the blue team seems to be resetting 20 seconds before the Dragon. Would they actually want to contest this, or would they rather trade for something else on the map? Okay, the red team are looking for an aggressive pickoff before they start doing the objective. Diana doing a great job in pushing a wave out again before the blue team is anywhere close to the wave. Okay, they just instant start the Drake. They really don't care because they know the goal difference is gonna hit the blue team hard. They just melt the break down. They don't think twice. Okay, now they're looking for a fight near mid lane. Camille seems to be overstepping, but she gets caught. She uses her ult, but this is too far away from the team. Her ADC is too far to follow up. Meanwhile, Jana ults. She gives them a disengage, but will that cost her life? No, she gets out alive. Okay, that's pretty much Oriana, Tristana, and Wukong standing, and they can't do much. The red team can go for a free Baron at this point, but no, they're actually going in deep. They're going in for they're going in for the Oriana, and they get her. Okay, at this point, the red team gets a free Baron. There's no one to contest this, but they're all low. So yeah, they go for it anyway. Jana doesn't have to hit, and Lee Sin would do a great job in sustaining that. They just don't have to club up at one place. And that's pretty much it. That's Baron Nash. They're gonna reset now, and they're gonna push all three lanes. Or they might go for 5 man, and you never know because the goal difference at this point is pretty much just huge. There's no point of a comeback anymore for the blue team. We see that team going with the classic 1-3-1 format of push. It's Foxwell on top, Gragas bot, and the remaining three are pushing mid. Okay, are they looking for an engage at this point? Because they are outnumbered. The blue team, they should just go for the fight before the minion hits that inhib. I mean, right at the point before it hits the inhib, because after that, it's pretty much too late. And meanwhile, this is still the first Baron, so it's not going to be as strong as the second Baron would be. Okay, red kill with a double kill up top. Okay, now blue team has to defend 3v5. This is not looking so great, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna give their best at this point. Okay, Rakan looks for an engage, but he hits nothing but air. He just pops back in, and he's already low. Okay, Tristana, yeah, she can't do much because that's a huge wave which is empowered, and they have a Kaisa who's really fed. So she's gonna do a lot of DPS. Okay, the red team at this point is just looking to end the game. There wasn't much of a fight between teams. It was just the first fight, and after that, it was pretty much a snowball. And the red team, they just go for it. They start diving the base, and it's GG. Well, I mean, that was an interesting game, but the blue team probably didn't have much to do. The Camille, she was getting caught out of position way too often, but I mean, the Oriana did a good job with her positioning in team fights because that was impressive. But it was overall a better performance from the red team. We have Fox who does a lot, who did 19k damage, and Diana did 25k damage. I didn't expect that from a Diana, which was dope, but that was actually a lot. And meanwhile, the Baron laner does 18k damage, and that's pretty much it. The blue team being out macroed by the red team a lot of times. Okay, if you look at the gold draft, yeah, it just started. It was the first fight, and after that, there was pretty much nothing. It just started at the first fight, and there was no comeback since then.
Are we off voice?
Okay, are we still on stream or is this done?
Kyoto invite me now.
Yeah, hold on, chief.
Yeah, I'm really sorry for the audio issue. Sorry, the login issue. Really sorry for that. I don't know what happened, but it's back now.
Yeah, it was probably some login issues with your VPN. It happens once in a while for me too.
No, usually I don't even need VPN. Usually just mobile data or Wi-Fi. I don't need VPN. I don't know why
You
I'm
don't?
getting this way. I don't.
Okay, that's
Okay, I'm back.
strange.
What
Alright,
were the
so
bans
that
last time? What were the bans last time?
the bans last time were a Brom, a Ziggs, and I don't remember the other two to be honest. But yeah, we'll see if they repeat any bans.
Okay.
Okay, the last game was pretty much a stomp since you missed it. It was the red team,
I saw
that's
the ban.
Melbourne's stomping. Oh yeah, you saw it.
Okay, are we on voice?
Yes, we are currently online. You're talking to YouTube. Say hi, chief.
Hello
Okay, we
guys,
see a Galio
I'm back.
ban.
So I'm back, guys. So I'm really sorry I had audio issues. So now I'm back. So let's have a fun match. So looking at the first match, like from what I could see, it was pretty much a one-sided match. No, tilting always towards the favor of Bamba Fox. And that was nothing really Doctor could do over that because they never had the control in the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. The red team pretty much had better vision control over the map, and they were making plays. Meanwhile, blue team couldn't keep up.
And also looking at the bans this game, we see the first band coming out. It's going to be a Galio band coming out of Band of Hawks.
Yeah, which is actually which was followed up by a TF ban. Okay, TF ban might be targeted towards the mid lane because I saw a TF ban at the last game too. Maybe it's kind of a
Mhm.
target ban.
Well, usually, like ever since Twisted Fate got the buff, the red card buff. I don't see.
Yeah.
I'm scared of Twisted Fate in the rank games as well. So I think it makes sense when there's a Twisted Fate ban coming out.
I mean, if you're a Twisted Fate user who plays half as good, it's worth a ban. That hero is pretty much cancer when played right. Your time is ult right. You out. I mean, that's pretty much pointless. You're at mid lane. You're late at rotating for a fight. Doesn't matter. You just pop your ult. You're at bot lane before the other guy rotates to that lane, which gives you free pry on lane, man. That's actually a lot an ult can do for a fight.
Up and absolutely. And coming to the next ban, it's going to be a Jit ban. So all of the first three bans have been mid lane bans. So all of them have been. I don't want to say it, but I'm going to be saying it. All of them have been targeted towards Volk. That guy is an absolute beast in the mid lane. You saw it in the last game as well, right? When Volk getting MVP on his Diana, getting 7 kills, having up
I was
Aphelion KD as
surprised
well.
because Diana right now is a low tier pick. Maybe A tier or B, but she's definitely not an S tier after the nerf. But despite that, he gets 25k damage on her, which was the most in the game. It's pretty impressive from Walk. He's an absolute beast.
Yep, and also looking at the fourth ban coming, it's going to be a Gragas ban. So all of the bans have been AP bans, and mostly all of these are also mid lane bans. So seeing the
Maybe the
Gragas
last
performance
ban,
in the last match, exactly. Seeing the performance of
yeah,
Gragas in the
Meru
last match, I guess that's exactly why maybe it
Gragas
was
was
a target
literally
ban. But
it was a target ban, and Merum's Gragas was actually good. It was smooth.
and now coming to the pick system, it's going to be of Band of Hawks in the first place. Going in for the first pick. So what do you think the picks are going to be?
Band of Hawks. I mean, are they gonna prioritize that middle lane again, or will they try something different this time?
Oh no! Now that Brom is open,
Okay,
guys,
it's a
Brom
Braum
is
pick.
going to be picked up. Yes. So guys,
I
that's a
mean,
better
Braum is
idea.
just
If Brom
broken,
is
man.
open,
If
exactly. If
Braum is
Brom is
not
open, you pick it
open,
every single time.
yeah, Braum is not banned, and you have first pick. Your opponent gives it to you, just take it. His passive is the most broken in team fights.
Yeah, exactly. When Brom passive, early game, you just put up a passive, you just put up your uh, Iceborne Fisher, and that's it. The team gets a free kill.
I mean, a Braum picks gives your team a lot. You can go in for early aggressive invades. You don't even have to be afraid because you'll get a passive on any guy. It's a first blood at the spot. There's no way he roams away after 4 man or 5 man gank.
Also looking at the picks coming out from Dr. Arkana, his Akali. Akali has fallen out of meta. I'm not really sure why Akali was over here.
Okay, and Kali seems really weird into this comp because they have a J4.
Exactly,
Okay,
and
that
even
was
J4
more
being
for the
over.
J4 and Kaisa. Maybe it's probably going to be the combo where J4 gets a lock in and Alistair jumps in. Akali and Kaisa are probably going to be a part of the cleanup crew.
Yep, and
But
also
at this
Tristana
point,
being picked in so many of these tourneys because we saw the Tristana mid lane pick in the last game, Tristana ADC pick in this game. I don't know
I
what
mean, Tristana
after
scales
of
so
these
good
three.
late game, Chief. Tristana just scales really good late game because you have a bad game, your enemy team has an early game comp. No matter they have the lead, they have a 10k goal lead. You still get back at them if you just farm well in lane and do decent in lane. There's always a chance for comeback with the Tristana on your team. She actually secures a lot. She doesn't even have to get inside the Baron pit or the Dragon pit to secure objectives. She has insane lane as she levels up.
And also looking at the other picks in both sides, we see a Lee a very aggressive early game jungler, matched up with a late game ADC. No, you can do wonders in every stage of the game, right?
I mean, considering late game, I think the red team has a better advantage late game because they're going for the double ADC pick. Meanwhile, the blue team, they kind of scale a bit less compared to the red team late game.
Well, they do have the Baron Queen, Fiora, and the Fiora is going to be matched up against Akali. So I
Uh,
really don't know who would win a matchup, but yes, Fiora can beat Akali in the late game. I'm not really sure
I,
about
I mean, I think
What
an
happens?
Akali can play good against Fiora too, but we'll have to see because it's Merum on lane, and we both know he does good.
Okay, so let's go. The match is started, and well, I really want to be seeing some, cheeky, aggressive plays coming out from the Lee Sin RPG Sarnish. He's got on Lee Sin as well, and along with playing along with the Brom, they can do wonders in the early game.
I mean, I myself am a really good fan for Lee Sin user because they have to go around the map. Okay, the blue team are actually looking for an aggressive invade. They don't take the route path, they just jump in at the ADC. Okay, Braum misses a passive, so they might have to back out at this point. But the thing with Braum is if you miss your passive, your team has to back out instantly. There's no point going in when you don't land your passive.
Yeah, right, and that's exactly why they had back. I hadn't decided to cut it off and go back into the own jungles, not seeing any aggressive plays. But the Irie already, just look at the poke coming out of Irie, beating the
Oh,
Corki so hard.
okay, the Corki is having a hard time in lane since Ari hit a level 2 before she did, and she gets prio in lane. We see Lee Sin clearing the jungle close to the mid lane. He might go for a close camp and try for a play at mid lane, but he doesn't know there's a ward right up the bush. Okay, Lee Sin is actually roaming at the river. He's looking in to make some plays at mid or bot lane. But at this point, he's just roaming pointlessly. I'd rather just go back to my jungle and farm.
Well, I really think that Leeson was looking in for the steal on the blow buff for the Jarl was a little bit too smart. Coming in late. Not giving Leeson any idea that he's still taking his blue buff, not taking his blue buff. So the Leeson was clueless over that. Oh no, decides to go back to Stone. And now
That,
Braum and Stana rotating over the Scuttle.
okay, the
Yep.
blue team are prioritizing the scuttle over the dragon lane. They will get this easy, but meanwhile, we see J4 heading towards the top scuttle. He can get this, and there are no wards at top. If he decides to rotate and help out Akali with his lane a bit, this is going to be a hard time for Fiora. But J4 goes inside the jungle, he wastes a bit of time. Okay, Fiora sees him coming. Okay, they go for an engage. There's a fight happening up at top. Now, Fiora is forced to back out, and she gets the HP lead, but Lee Sin jumps back in at J4. He pokes him back. Okay, that was
Well,
a
so
lot
no
of.
team is really going in for the hard commits, not going in for the hard engage because they know that it's going to be too risky to just commit so much in the early game itself.
But
Getting the Lee Sin fed, getting the Jarvan fed, they can literally hard carry you if even one of them is fed.
I mean, if I were the blue team, I would actually look to force out more plays from the red team because you have to get shutdowns on their ADCs or get them kills or give them a hard time. Because they pretty much scale better with Corki and Kaisa at the same team. They scale better than the blue team, so they must look to play around their strengths, which is Layson early game. He has to look for more aggressive camps, he has to go for more kills, and he has to try making much more plays than what he's doing right now.
Up and also guys, if you're new to the stream, make sure to like the stream and also subscribe to the channel because we are going to be having a hell lot of amazing matches coming up because this is just the first match of the Aphelion Rifters Cup. The next match is going to be Rebel versus Level Up. So we'll stay tuned for that as well.
I hope Chief comes and supports me for that game, but you break my heart too often, Chief.
That's what I do, heartbreaker chief.
Yeah.
Also, Lee Sin coming in for a cheeky play, goes and kicks Kaisa right into the team. Yes, he's going to be going in for the follow-up, get the kill on the Kaisa. But it's
Okay, that
properly
was pretty
coordinated
smooth by the
team
blue
play.
team. They are trading pretty good at board. They get the kill on Kaisa, and that was right before the dragon spawns. But there isn't much of a goal difference. The blue team might be up 1,000 gold, but will that make much of an impact? Because we see the first tier item coming out from Ari at this fight. Meanwhile, the support has. Meanwhile, Brom has went for the heal item, and Alistair has went for Team Shield. Okay, this is pretty interesting choices because if I were Brom, I'd rather go for Gragas and the Gargoyle enchant because that makes you pretty much tankier in team fights. It's way better than the Redeem enchant. Okay,
Already,
the
we
blue
see
team are starting up the fight, starting up the dragon. Just melting it
but
quick.
they're
Will
not
the red
even
team?
waiting at all. They're just going in, taking the dragon. The Alistair is going to be just going in for a very hasty engage. Just go in, but he's going to be, affected by the Brom passive. And Brom was maybe the Alistair was,
Okay,
taking
the
the
red
action
team
for
is just being
entire
split
team.
out. They're taking fights way too far. And okay, the blue team just gets an easy cleanup on the S and the Corky too. Okay,
Well,
I
I
mean
would
the
say
blue
that
team
you
just melted the
both,
dragon.
obviously, yes, blue team didn't melt the dragon.
Okay, we
I would
see
say
Lee
this
Sin
was a
making a
kill.
play and he gets a kill on Kaisa. He was camping there. Did you just see that? He was waiting for the Kaisa to head back to his turret to defend the lane, but the Lee Sin is waiting right over there with his D-Ward turned on and he gets an easy pick for the team. This would give the blue team an advantage and even probably the first turret on the game. Okay, Alistair does a great job in defending the first turret, but it's probably not going to last for long.
Oh, meanwhile, I think it's a solo kill on the Corki in the mid lane. That's exactly why I say the Walk is the best mid laner in India right now. Nobody comes even close to Walk.
Okay, I might have missed that, but that's pretty sweet. Meanwhile,
Also,
there
now,
is a late freeze at mid, whereas the rift is spawning at 30 seconds. Volk is probably just going to shove this wave in and help his team out for the rift fight. Okay, we see them heading towards top. Fiora is actually looking towards an aggressive move. She doesn't know that J4 is looking for a back push engage. Okay,
nobody
Fiora
that
steps in
no one.
range. Okay, the blue team are just jumping in. Okay, Fiora has no idea where J4 is. They just dive the turret, and Lee Sin just kicks him out. The blue team gets a kill. Okay, Aries just comes here with the cleanup, and we have the ADC jumping in. Kaisa just jumps in. She gets the back line. Okay, now Wall gets cleaned by Kaisa. Okay, giving a double king. Okay, the Kaisa just gets a.
DR Arkana is playing. They are looking to come back in the series after losing the game really first game really hard. The way they are playing this time, they are no, they are like we are nothing less than you, and they are here to win this game. But at the same time, Alice coming in a proper knockup, saving the Kaisa from imminent death and coming. Oh my god!
Okay, Alistair flashes out. I thought he'd actually die. Okay, Tristana just jumps in and uses his ult for Alistair, and she gets a clean. Okay, we see Wall going in aggressive. He holds out three guys and even gets out alive. Meanwhile, okay, Lee Sin and Tristana are a bit deep. Will Akali be able to get that? Okay, now she hits the jungle creep and she's probably gonna die for it. And yeah, Bomb's passive land and she is dead. Blue team are gonna try to force the mid tower out. Okay, they have no way, but they're still fighting. They're fighting on the turret. They don't really care if the turret's gonna kill them. They dive in again. Alistair has used his ult.
Oh,
Okay,
the
that
amount
was
of
actually
aggression
a
was
lengthy
bad of
fight.
this showing.
Yeah, that's these guys are just duking it out, and they really don't care at this point because both of them hate losing. They want to win as much as the other. Meanwhile, Volk gets a kill on Alistair on mid lane. Volk is just doing so much on the map for the blue team, Chief. What do you think about her?
Well, I did say my thoughts on Walk. According to me, he is the best mid laner right now, or probably even the best player in the Indian scene right now because nobody even comes close to him. The way he plays this Galio, the way he plays his Diana, it's just unreal. You could see this Diana gameplay in the first match as well. No, all the ultis, all the dashes of this, all of them are just really perfect. But enough about Walk for now. Let's just see what's going to be happening in the game because Red side is looking for
Okay, the red
Tower
team is
Deacon on the
looking for
top
the
lane.
top turret. Okay, the red side trade for the top turret.
Well, they do get a top 10 pretty easily, and now they're going to be focusing their whole squad into the Rift Herald, while they're going to be getting Rift for the Dragon. Red Blue team just
I
melted
do
the Drake, and
not
then
think
just going to
that's
be coming.
worth it. The blue team are actually going for these guys. They're looking for a fight. They find Alistair, but Alistair gets stunned. We see a heal dropping right in middle. Okay, now the red team is split away. Okay, now
Well, I
this is
would
pretty
say we
much
do. They
an
asked
easy
the way
cleanup for the Tristana. The
the way
Tristana
actually
is
the
just doing
Sky is
so
playing.
much. Oh my god, that's so close. Okay, Luck must love guys at this point because if you look at her, she just gets out at 1 HP. Okay, no, they're gonna dive for her and they will manage to secure the kill. Meanwhile, the blue team is gonna get a free top tower. I mean, if I were the red team right now, I would actually try to force the mid turret out instead because there's no point rotating for that tower anymore. That is gone. They might want to make a 5-man play at mid and force the middle tower out because that is going to open up the map for them and which would give them more options throughout the game.
Well, no, like if you are going to be trading the Rift Herald for the Dragon, you really should be playing safe after that, right? You shouldn't be really looking for engages over that because you know you're behind goal and almost looking at this point of the game when you're behind almost 8 or 9K. Really shouldn't be looking for a fight, and that's exactly why Band of Fox is winning all these fights because they're very ahead.
Yeah, once your team is ahead, most teams go passive, and that's totally wrong. Because in my opinion, you guys, when you have the goal lead, you're supposed to use it and you're supposed to push it. You're gonna have to extend your lead. Because if you play too passive, you give the enemy team a chance for a comeback, which is something you don't want. And we see the blue team jumping back in again. They get a jam on Alistair, and that's a free kill. Okay, the blue
Also,
team
not
is
just
probably
about the
gonna
Alice,
die.
the charms coming out by Airy got a perfect kill on the Corki as well.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did, Chief.
At this point, I don't think no, DR Arkana can even come back in this game because the Tristana spread, the Irie spread, and the Lee Sin's giga fed.
I mean, the Lee Sin is probably just getting a lot of free kills because of Ari's charm, man. Because she is just doing a lot on the map at this point. She gets a confirmed charm in a team fight, it gives them a kill, and it's easy to follow up with the Lee Sin Tristana who can just stand miles away and shoot you guys down.
The only way I really do think, the only way DR Arkana can come back in this game is,
It's the Baron
us-
fight, man. It's definitely the Baron fight, Chief.
it has to be the balance fight, but they have to single out a target like the Tristana or the Lee Sin because if the Lee Sin is going to be this aggressive, so that's a high probability you should be catching him out, right? Even at this point, just look how aggressive the Lee Sin is playing. The Alistair should be going in for the move, try and catch the Lee Sin out.
I mean, the Lee Sin is solo there, and there are 5 guys of the red team behind him. If these guys don't go for a play now, I don't know at what time will they try for it. Because he has a huge bounty on his head. He has 817 and he has 3 items complete at this
Also, there
point.
is a
And
mistake
he
coming
still
out by
gets a
Tristana.
kill.
He ends up dying to the Alistair. That was a bit too aggressive play coming out by Tristana, ends up sacrificing a life for that. But Lee Sin is going to be there getting the kill on 2 of them. Oh my god.
Lee Sin is just demolishing the red team at this point. He gets a ADC soloed out before the fights even start, and he gets the kill on their ADC, which does a lot because that gives you no DPS when they get your ADC. Okay, meanwhile, we see Mervin pressuring bot lane. He's already close to the inhib. At this point, the blue team can actually go for a free Baron because these guys are all focused on Merom and they're gonna chase them. The red team has to try making some plays, but right now all they are doing is pushing the waves in and keeping the pressure on because they don't want to let go of the red team. They know the red team's gonna pounce at them at the second they give them a chance.
And also, guys, if you're new to the stream, make sure to like the stream because we're literally just 10 likes away from hitting 50 likes. So please like the stream.
Chief, you're actually on YouTube right now?
What?
Like, are you on YouTube right now?
Yeah, I am seeing the stream from my other account.
Nice.
Well, but just looking at this match, the way Tristana is fed, there's nothing really Dr. Arkana can do. Also, looking at the item builds, you want to talk about the item builds for now? Because
I mean,
the
who's
brown
gonna be
belt,
looking
the
at?
thorn mail coming out as the first item and a Randu Sumin coming out as the second item. Yeah,
I
that
mean,
is very
a
aggressive
Thornmail,
coming out by Brown.
yeah, a Thornmail against this comp does not look that great because Thornmail reduces healing a bit and gives you a bit of defense, but that's fine. But these guys have 2 ADCs. I would have rather went for something different.
But
Maybe go
also
for
the
Thornmail
fight which
second.
just happened now. So even though Red Team had a perfect knockups, perfect ultis coming out
It's
by
just
Jarvan,
the
but there's
goal
nothing really
difference
they
at
could
this
do.
point.
It's just a goal difference, exactly.
It's 20k behind gold, and there's pretty much nothing Amir or his team could do about it. But they fought good. It was better than the previous game, and they did have a lot of chances at the start. But the blue team just showing why they're better and finishing the game and ending the series with a score of 2-0.
And the MVP, of course, going to release in with a KD of 10 to 11. I'm just looking at this goal, but this damage wasn't really that because it's 18k damage coming out from the releasing. But Volk again with highest damage in this game, 21k going into the ID. And also Fox,
Followed up by
those
Tristana.
Yup, like that was a very negligible difference. Almost like, come on, this like 1,000 different. You
1,000
know,
difference. That's not a lot. Meanwhile, we see decent damage coming out from the mid and red team. Starboy with 19k damage, but apparently all his efforts were in vain. But it was still well played by the red team, and we see a lot of damage tanked by the Ari too. She has tanked 14k damage, which is a lot for a mid laner.
which is more than the
That
Braum
probably
as well. The
yeah,
Braum has tanked 13k.
yeah.
Irie
The
has
Braum
tanked
is supposed to be the
14k.
tank. I mean, Ari was going for so many aggressive plays, man. She just goes in 3v1. She holds them out enough until the other team can clean up at least one or two other members and still gets out alive, which is helping the team to do a lot more on the map.
Yep, and with that we come to the end of the series where Band of Hope take the series 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, it was a short series, but it was actually a good game. Just to take you guys and catch us on the next game where it's Level Up versus Chief. Would you tell us which team it
Yep,
is?
it's gonna be Level Up versus Rebel at I think at 9:30. I'm not really sure about times, but it's around 9:30.
I think it's 9:30. It's in another hour.
Most
Yeah,
like all
it's
of
gonna
the
be a
teams
good
are
game.
the Conqueror League teams in Wild Rift India circuit, right? So watching them play right
Yeah,
now, you can already estimate the amount of fun which you're gonna be having in Wild Rift India circuit.
yeah. We have a lot of people from AOV playing. We have teams who have played Vainglory before. A lot of different people who are just mixing up, forming teams, and having fun at this point. It's gonna be a fun journey, Chief.
Yep, it's definitely gonna be a fun journey. So guys, so with that, we're gonna be coming to an end for the match one. So make sure to join the Discord server as well.
And stay tuned for game two. This is Kyoto with Chief signing off.